Short-term memory loss, now more commonly known as Dory syndrome, is a condition in which a person forgets information that they have just obtained. This often causes a person to ask one question repeatedly.
In general, forgetting information that has just been received can happen to anyone. However, if a person keeps forgetting important information frequently, which in turn would lead to constant interference with their daily lives, then they may be experiencing short-term memory loss, which is related to certain health conditions.
And to know more about short-term memory loss or Dory syndrome, we're now connected with neurologist Dr. Anyeliria Sutanto. Hi, good afternoon, Dr. Anya.
Hello, good afternoon, ladies.
Hi.
Good afternoon. First of all, could you tell us more about short-term memory loss, or what is nowadays called Dory syndrome?
Yeah, sure. So most of us maybe knows Dory for his cuteness and also for his forgetfulness. And he has this kind of condition which we call short-term memory loss, in which we have difficulty to remember something that we just have heard, something that we just have saw or maybe did or smell. So we could not retain the information that we gain through our sensory input. And it could be a sign of normal aging, but also could be a sign of something more serious, some deeper conditions.
But how do you differentiate between those two?
Yeah, so we have to check the other symptoms, because in short memory loss, we should check is there any difficulties in other areas, in other cognitive areas, such as for judgment, and then for visual spatial conditions, which is that we could remember the way to our house, the way to our home, and then to make sure that we could go back safely when we go out from our house. If there's no other condition, no other cognitive declining, so it means it's purely about the short-term memory loss.
Okay, now there's short-term memory loss and there's also amnesia. What are actually the differences between the two?
Okay, so amnesia, not necessarily short-term memory loss only, because in amnesia, we had both difficulties in short-term and also long-term memory. So sometimes in amnestic patients, they will forget about the past things also, not only the recent things. Maybe they forget about their address and then their family members and other things that happens in the past. But in short-term memory loss, the thing that they forget is isolated to something very recent, maybe like 10 seconds ahead or maybe 1 hour ahead, but they could still retain the past memories.
Okay.
That's certainly very interesting because I can tell you that I keep forgetting my keys, so that's like within minutes. But most of the people suffering from short-term memory loss are not even aware that they have it. So what are the actual symptoms of a short-term memory loss versus just being forgetful?
Yeah, it's true. Because how could we remember that something that we already forget?
Yeah.
So the things that we could see is someone is keep asking the same question repeatedly about have you eaten something today, or have you taken a bath, or do you know where is my keys? But they ask it like repeatedly, maybe like 5 times, 10 times. That sometimes it is becomes very quite irritating maybe for someone who thinks they have normal memories. You already asked that. And then they also forgetting about the recent events. They also keep forgetting about something that they have saw, something that they have read recently.
I see. So if we forgot to, no, forgot. If we forgot whether we have locked our keys or not, when we go to a mall, perhaps.
An hour ago, for example, right?
Yep, that's not classified as short-term memory loss, right? That's just pregnancy aftermath, maybe. Right?
Yes. Yes, you should consider other things. If you in hurry or if you have like very short attention to something, you do multitasking conditions, and then yeah, you will easily forget about small things. That's very normal.
All
Don't be
right.
scared about it.
Right, so what is the worst possibility that might happen when people suffer from short-term memory loss?
Okay, so short-term memory loss will make you found difficulties in taking care of yourself, especially for people who live alone. People such as they don't remember have they eat or not, and then they could not remember the way to their home. They could not cook properly. They could not remember how put something important like such as the key, the cell phone, or maybe their wallet or their purse, and it is very difficult for their quality of life.
So is it the early symptoms of dementia, or how do you classify this?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be because the short-term memory loss have so many potential causes, such as the first one is the early sign of dementia or the sign of any brain tumor, brain hemorrhage, or any brain injury. Also, we should not forget about the causes of mental health issues and medications or substance use disorder. We should consider so many causes in this case.
Pretty complicated, huh?
Yeah, so there are certain things that can actually make somebody have this short-term memory loss, but how do we cure it? Is there any possible that we can cure it or at least treat this through medical or therapy or anything so that we can, eliminate the short-term memory loss symptoms?
Yeah, so first of all, we should know the main reason, the main root of the causes of the short-term memory loss, and then we cure the root itself. So not just only we cure the memory symptoms, but we have to know what's wrong with our brain. If there is dementia, we have to treat the dementia. If there's any kind of deficiency, the vitamin deficiency, we have to treat it first. And if we have mental health issue, we have to do the what we call cognitive behavior therapy. So we treat the mental health issue first, and then the memory will be solved autonomously, I think.
So it's basically finding the root cause of the short-term memory loss first. But having that said, though, is there a way we can prevent short-term memory loss? Is there certain things that we can do to train our memory?
Or maybe avoid some food,
Yeah,
perhaps?
sure. True. So the basic two things is to take care your brain and to challenge your brain. So give it the proper nutrition, proper sleep, and also the proper exercise. The brain exercise is to challenge your brain over and over again, such as if you want to learn new language. So it's never too late to learn new language because it challenges your brain and it will make your brain healthier and healthier so that you could prevent the short-term memory loss.
Is it true that human memory capacity decline as we grow older?
Both true and false, I think.
Can you explain?
If you don't use it well, if you don't use it optimally, yes, it will decrease gradually by age.
Okay.
But if you keep using it, as great as that you are a younger age person, so your brain could be younger than your age. Maybe you could have your brain age could be 15 years old in our age right now. So it depends on us. Do you want to use it or do you just will lose it? Use it or lose it. That's your decision.
So it's not about the number.
No.
Yeah. No.
Well, certainly very interesting things.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to point out that I have my grandpa who passed away at 87. He actually did a lot of reading and a lot of writing, so he actually retained all of his memory throughout his aging process. It's amazing.
Hopefully reading can help, right?
Yeah.
Which was proven by your grandpa.
And playing the piano, perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh, playing the piano, memorizing all those notes and
Yeah.
keys, and that
Yeah.
makes my brain also curly.
Yes.
I love that. But before we conclude our interview, Dr. Anyeliria, I want to ask my fellow hosts to play a game called Myth or Facts with us. So I will make a statement and you both need to guess whether it's a myth or fact, and Dr. Anyeliria will tell us the correct answer and a brief explanation as to why.
Okay.
Dr. Anyeliria, still with
Let's
us?
try our brain.
Okay. So the
Okay,
first
sure.
statement, ladies, are you ready?
We are.
We are.
Yeah.
Playing brain teasers such as puzzles can sharpen one's memory. True or fact? Myth or fact?
Fact.
Fact.
Doc, what do you say?
Yes, true. Very, very true. It is fact.
High five.
Really
High five.
good for both of you.
Excuse me for
Okay.
applauding. Second statement is memory that has been stored will never change over time.
What does that mean?
So your memory will just stay the same over time. Is it
Wait, I
true
need to-
or
Memory
myth
that
or
has
fact?
been stored will never change. over
That's a
time.
tricky question.
Myth.
So myth versus what's your decision?
I'll just
fact.
fact.
Doc, what do you say?
Yeah, so it is a myth. It is a myth.
Oh, you got it right.
Actually, when you have the memory, you have stored it in one place in the brain. But every time you recall it, and then you can have added some more new information, or sometimes you will delete some old information. So it will change it over time.
Ah.
All right. The bank has its own capacity, right?
Yeah, so it can be foggy, so it may or may not be true, right?
Yes. Sometimes your brain will trick you.
Tricky,
Brain
smart
tricks.
brain.
All right.
Well, next statement. We can train our memory, myth or fact?
Yeah. Fact.
Easy one.
Easy.
Yes.
Yay.
You need to understand.
Fact.
Now
Now-
we have to train it.
Now, this one in particular, I love because this is my favorite part, but I will talk about it later. We can remember through scent or smell. Myth. Yay! So it is a duck.
Yes, sure. Scent or smell is the most primitive sensory that you ever had in the first moment of your life.
Yeah.
The babies could not see clearly. They could not hear properly in their first daily life, right? But they could smell their mother's scent. This is the very, very important skill for babies to recognize
Yeah.
the people they love, especially their mother.
You know,
You will
I
be.
remember the scent of your family, right?
yeah. You were going to say.
Yeah, if you have problems remembering people's name, just make sure that you know what kind of perfume that they're
You know what?
wearing.
I do that.
Really?
I do that. I remember perfumes, and there are certain perfumes that are so commercial that I smell everywhere I go.
Yes.
What if the person doesn't use perfume?
Maybe just a sweat smell. I don't know.
Because everyone has their own scent, so
Yeah.
everyone has their specific unique scent. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
I rely on my nose more than I do on my brain.
True, actually.
Yes.
Yes.
So one more. Excessive consumption of MSG can decline human memory capacity. Now, I need to ask this: is this myth or fact?
But it depends on-
We
it
have
depends
different
on
opinions.
your
Doc, what do
point
you
of view.
say?
I think both of the answers will be right
Oh.
because it is still controversial. Because the consumption of MSG is not the main things that affect your memory capacity. You have to have like balanced nutrition and then balanced exercise and use your brains well. So we should not be overly scared about the use of MSG.
Yeah.
Just make it balanced diet so you will be fine.
The problem if you have short memory loss, if a minute ago you ate MSG and then you forgot and then you keep eating again and eating again, that's going to be a
You're
too
turning
much
to
of
Dory.
MSG,
But
right?
Doc, speaking of nutrition, right, there's one thing I would love to ask before you go. Which, not supplements, but which vitamins or,
Antioxidants,
antioxidants should we consume to keep our brains healthy?
One of the main vitamins is vitamin B12. It is very good for your
B12.
brain.
Yeah.
Make sure they have new synapses for your brain to study well. So make sure you have no B12 deficiency in this case.
Right.
There you go, B12. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much
Doc.
for giving us some truth about,
the
short-term
brain.
memory loss
And the
also
brain.
justifying us mothers, we don't have short-term
Yes,
memory
we
loss,
don't.
guys. No.
We have mom brain, that's
Yeah,
what it is.
mom brain, that's all. Thank you so much.
you, Dr.
Take care.
Thank you for
The
having
pinky and the
Thank
brain,
you.
brain, brain.